Good day, gamers. Welcome to a brand new episode of the ReInstall series brought to you by the PC team from Enthusiast.gg. For this episode, we're going to be bringing it back to a little more into recent history, taking a look at another kind of arcade racer. Today's episode is about Hot Wheels Beat That. Developed by Eutechnyx, the guys behind a lot of racing games such as the recent NASCAR titles, and Neversoft. Yes, the same team that developed the very popular Tony Hawk Pro Skater series. This was released all the way back in 2007 and published by Activision. Being 9 years old, how does this arcade racer from the popular toy series hold up? Hot Wheels Beat That allows you to drive a number of vehicles based on the real-world toy line. In fact, all of the in-game models can actually be purchased in real life. All of the designs are authentic and perfectly match their real-world counterparts. The game actually bases itself around the toy formula, as these are not life-size versions of toy cars, but rather is actually all just a high-octane, virtualized version of various Hot Wheels toy sets. All of the game's tracks are based on real-world themes, but seeing that these are toy cars, the whole world around you is supersized. There are 4 locales, each having a different theme: a bedroom, an attic, a miniature golf course, and a bowling alley. Each of these locales have 3 different kinds of races: Quick Race, Eliminator, and Rampage. These are spread out through 4 individual tracks. At the end of every race, the player is awarded with flames. The amount of flames that is awarded is dependent on how well the player performs in the race. New events and cars are unlocked every so often once a certain number of flames are collected. Seeing that there are 758 in total, it may take you quite a while to collect every single one. Speaking about racing, how is it? For starters, I can definitely tell you that these toys controls very differently from real-world vehicles. Who would have thought? Being based on the chaotic toy sets, each track in the game has you racing through various interesting features like loop-de-loops, large ramps, over ruler bridges, yes, seriously, and other wacky terrain features. The different track designs that are featured in each of the locales are actually pretty neat, and I found most of them to be pretty exhilarating. On the other hand, navigating through these unconventional courses is a bit hit and miss. The cars feel as light and slippery as you would expect. They are toys after all, so it takes some getting used to. There were times when I found myself sliding into an impossibly escapable area of the track, but after spending some more time with the game, it gradually began to come together. There are 3 different levels of difficulty, and the experiences are noticeably different. At the easiest setting, the AI is as dumb as plastic cars could be. The medium setting ups the challenge a bit, but not by too much. With the hard setting, I was actually getting beat. The AI became pretty responsive and recovered from any mishaps, if any, fairly quickly. I was surprised as to how steep the difficulty rose, seeing that this game was created with children in mind. Nevertheless, it feels good to have a little bit of a challenge. As mentioned towards the beginning, there are quite a number of cars to choose from. You start off the game with a pretty sizable collection, and get more as you complete more races. It really made me feel like a kid again, as I had quite the car collection back in the day, if I do say so myself. With so many to choose from, you're sure to find some that you like, even if it's just because the designs look cool. So, we've established that the gameplay is pretty decent, but what about everything else? Presentation-wise, the game is a mixed bag. With the visuals, it's obvious that this game did not have a big budget backing it. Even considering its age, it's a pretty basic looking game. But hey, what do you expect from a kid's title? Even so, it doesn't really look bad, even now. The game makes use of some simple but effective lighting and bloom effects, not to mention a large amount of vibrant color. The frame rate is a bit choppy, but nothing exceptionally bad. As far as the sound, believe it or not, these cars do have motors. Now, it would have been weird if they didn't make any sounds at all, but it's still worth mentioning nonetheless. The game doesn't have much going on in the music department, unfortunately. There's only really 2 songs that you hear, the main menu theme and the race theme, the latter of which is played in every single event. It gets old pretty quickly, but but if you can ignore it and just focus on gameplay, you should be good. Unlike many of the other titles that have been featured here in the ReInstall series before, Hot Wheels Beat That is actually a part of a long-running collection. There have been many games based on the classic toy franchise, some of which that came before Beat That, and a handful that have followed behind it. The latest game in the series is Hot Wheels, World's Best Driver, which was released back in 2013. So how did this game wind up being featured in the ReInstall series? Well, I spotted it on my shelf a few days ago, and the wave of nostalgia hit me pretty hard. I can't remember exactly when I got it, but I do know it was quite a number of years ago. After playing it again, I thought it would be a great addition to this series. It's not the most perfect arcade racer out there, but it's a pretty fun game nonetheless. Go ahead and give it a try.
Hot Wheels! Beat that!
Thank you for watching this episode of ReInstall. Really hope you enjoyed it. Go ahead and click this image right here to be taken to a playlist that will display all the episodes in the series so far. And if you're on mobile, you can go right down in the description below and get the link to the same playlist. Also, make sure you visit us over at enthusiast.gg, as that is where PC Gaming Enthusiast is now located, along with all of the content from our various sister websites, Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox Enthusiast. Catch you in the next episode, and until then, keep on gaming!